Hey, good morning. I'd like to welcome you all to the Lenawee County Land Bank Authority meeting for Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. Before we get started, I would like to welcome Lisa Hewitt Cruz to the Land Bank. She is the county's new Community Development Coordinator. She's been in her role for a couple of months now, and unfortunately, this is our first meeting, so welcome. Can I have an approval of today's agenda, please?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion or changes? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of the minutes of our last meeting, which was way back on Tuesday, April 28th.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on to the finance reports. We have 4 months to cover. So we will start with the income statement through April 30th. If you notice at the top under application fees, that is the application fee we received for the 2000 block of West US 223. I know that was a long time ago, but we had discussions and received an application from the neighboring property owner. Down under the expense side of it, the $4,350 is the final payment for Susarski for the 140 West Main project that we had. We had $6.71 in copy fees. Are there any questions on April? Okay, moving on to the income statement through May 31st. At the very top, you'll see $90.05 was $550 capture for taxes for the 2025 for 903 Oak Street in Adrian. Just under that, you'll see $500 in sales. That was the 2000 block of West US 223 that we did sell. We did actually make $500 on that. And just below that, you'll see the contributions and donations. That is for the 124 South Tecumseh Street that we took in, left over from tax sale. We have to assign a value. That is the standard value that we've been advised to assign. Moving down to the expense side of it, the 25,000 was Creekoff's invoice for the services at 140 West Main Street. And down at the bottom, you'll see $510 for the mowing charges. That would cover both April and May charges. Any questions on May? Okay, moving on to June. At the very top, you will see $22,157.65. That is the $550 capture of the 2025 taxes, mostly in the city of Adrian. We did not have any expenses for the month of June. Any questions? And finally, to July, you'll see the $112,217.18. That is the reimbursement for 140 West Main Street from the state. We will discuss that a little later, talk about the numbers. Just below that is a $25 application fee that we received for the Jefferson School from Habitat. And under expenses, we had $1.30 in copy fees and $340 in mowing charges for the month. Are there any questions for July? That, if you notice on the balance sheet, this is the total after all of the months that we discussed. The remaining balance in our cash account is $267,978.94. Are there any questions? Okay, somebody like to make a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Support. It doesn't.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on to new business, under application status. In your packet, you should have the application we have received from Habitat for the 2 parcels that make up the Jefferson School property. I would like to invite Habitat up to discuss their plans for the property.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to present to you. I'm Wendy Knox. I'm the Executive Director at Habitat. This is Justin Rincon. He is our construction manager. You're looking at half the office right here. But we are super excited about the possibility of building 5 new homes on the Jefferson School property. We're looking at our homes that we build tend to be 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot homes. Single story, we build them on a 4-foot crawl. That is probably, I would say, our most efficient plans that we have. Our plans vary a little bit, so it's not going to be cookie cutter, boom, 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 they all look alike. But they will look similar. We think that it will fit in nice in that neighborhood. We are in the process of applying for a new construction grant from MISTA. The next round of grant funding opens up October 1st. And at this point, we are going to be asking them for $300,000 for new construction grant funding. We're also going to be asking for more repairs money. But as far as our new construction goes, this is new for us. We've never applied to the state for construction before. We are also finding out that there is a lot more prep work that we have to do for our application. We have to, first of all, the property has to be shovel ready, so we have to own it. That's, step number 1. We have to have a survey. We have to have an environmental study done. We have to have a site plan. We have to, budgets, of course, how much is it going to cost and all of that. And so it's very timely for us that, step 1 is purchasing the land. Or having it be our property. The reason we came to you with the dollar amount of $10,000 was we did have a local realtor do a CMA in the area. And his recommendation was around $10,000 for that lot. I understand that it is significantly less than your asking price, but our mission is to provide affordable housing. And part of that is our cost for our land acquisition. Obviously, the less we have to pay for the land, the more, we have of our resources to put into the house, but the less that we have to charge for the house. We have to charge our homeowners the appraised value. And right now, our houses are running about, our last couple that we've built are appraising at $185,000, which is amazing. And it's like good news, bad news, but our homeowners can only afford maybe $150,000. So how do we, make up that gap? We do fundraising, we do grants, different things like that. But the less that our cost is, the less that we have to, make up for that grant. We also are planning on, once we're assuming we're going to be acquiring this property, but we are also going to do a little mini Rock the Block. This year we're doing our main Rock the Block in Morenci again, because we have that all set up, but we're going to do a little mini Rock the Block in that corridor. Right now, we're kind of focusing on right there on French Street and do some blight remediation that we can to help clean up the neighborhood, I guess is a way to put it, so that our beautiful homes we build aren't going to stick out like a sore thumb. But we think that will also help the neighbors if we're there helping them maintain their homes. I think they'll be very welcoming to, eventually 5 new homes being built there.
Sounds fantastic.
Anybody have any questions?
I just have, like, what is the timeline for completion? I understand it's not a quick thing. We went through a grant ourselves that I think we spent 2 years on. So what's the timeline for completion to
Right.
get these homes up?
So if we get the MISTA funding, which we're hoping we do, one way or the other, we will be building, Habitat will start building 2 houses a year, starting next year. So we will only have 2 years to spend the money
Okay.
once we get the grant. The applications open up October 1st. We should know by sometime in December if we've gotten the funding. And then it's usually awarded like February or March. So it would be 2 years from that. It would put a little bit of a pause on, we currently own 2 lots side by side over on Low Avenue that we've purchased from the land bank. We're trying to get as much funding out of the state as we can this year because who knows what can happen next year or afterwards. So we will get to those Low Avenue houses, but it will probably be more like 4 years after we finish up the Jefferson School.
Is there a backup in case the grant does not come through for you for this project?
There is a backup. We have a couple of backups. If we end up not acquiring this Jefferson School, then we're still going to apply for MISTA, but it will be for the Low Avenue properties. It'll just be for the 2 houses. We are very fortunate that we've been really successful in acquiring some other grants and our fundraising activities. We are committed as an organization to building 2 houses a year, that's basically doubling what we've been doing in the last few years. So basically our backup plan is to utilize our own resources. We just assume not. We would just assume, use the state's money
Absolutely.
to, and keep ours for a rainy day. But we think that if moving forward and we get the funding from the state, it really sets us up for success for the future. Our financial model, the last few years has been, we don't start a new house until we already have the money raised to build that house. So we now have enough set aside to build 2 houses, and renewing our partnership with the tech center has enabled us to really double our capacity. So they'll build a house and we'll build a house.
Does anyone else have questions?
Have you had conversations with the city about splitting those 2 parcels into 5?
We have already, because of our time commitment or our time frame, we've already requested the survey, and the surveyor will, that's part of the survey, get the land surveyed and divvy it up into the 5 parcels. It's kind of, if you look at the, I think it's the GIS, there's some lines there that kind of show how it will be divided. It's basically the surveyor making that permanent.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, so we have in front of us Habitat's application for $10,000. Just to be clear, this would include both lots. We had discussed previously that these lots should go together because there are actually 2 separate lots here. That these 2 lots will be sold together and combined, for our purposes, not legally combined, but Does anybody have anything, any motions or?
I make a motion to approve the sale of 602 and 616 French Street to Habitat for Humanity in the amount of $10,000.
Support.
Any further discussion?
I don't have any discussion about property. I fully support it. I'm super excited. But I wondered if you were going to explain why we don't need to go to closed session anymore. And we can, or should we not do that?
Well, I had a conversation with Kim, and apparently we are to go into closed session if we are purchasing, not if we are selling.
Oh,
So.
okay.
Maybe discussion at the end of the meeting is more appropriate than now, but the reason that we start going to closed session in my mind was we started to negotiate in front of cameras against ourselves.
Correct.
And so we can't,
The way to get around that would be to fire up the sales committee again.
I see, okay.
So that might be something we look at. We just discovered this when we were putting this agenda together, so there clearly wasn't time to throw together the sales committee and getting that started again, so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any further discussion for Habitat's application? Okay, we're going to do a roll call vote.
Director Wright,
Yes.
Director Punnett,
Yes.
Director Brown absent, Director Ferguson,
Yes.
Director Saranac,
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco,
Yes.
Chair Van Dyke.
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 nay.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to 410 East Beecher. You will see that you do have a couple of applications in the packet. We have been trying to do due diligence, and by that I mean Lisa has been doing her due diligence just to make sure, because we all know that this property has some issues. I was recently informed by Eagle that, thank you,
Thank you.
that there was a possibility of an underground tank being discovered. And they do have a program that they could use to remove it and the soil. I haven't heard whether or not that they actually did find the tank. But I would like to let Lisa talk a little bit about what she's doing in regards to this, because we do want to be good stewards and make sure the purchaser has all the information available. Lisa?
Good morning, thank you. I have been in contact with both of the purchasers, have inquired with me on these properties, and that was before they actually submitted their application. In turn, I contacted Eagle to find out what the level of contamination was, what their due diligence is, and basically they are required to complete a phase 1 and a BEA and engage with an environmental consulting firm. They directed me to their RISE mapper and their RIDE website that indicates what all is involved on that property. And there are 50 to 70 documents inside that website, and they're very hard to disseminate what actually happened. So saying all that, we're still not to the point where I feel confident to be able to tell both of these purchasers what their due diligence will be in order to purchase this property so that they're fully aware of what they're buying. I don't want them to ever think that they're buying this property and they can just do whatever they want with it without repercussion. So I think it would be in our best interest to give this another 30 days until we come back to the next session. And by then I will have been able to inform them both equally of their due diligence requirements and have them determine if they want to consider proceeding with their purchase agreement.
Anyone have any questions on that? Okay, so we will not be taking any action on the two applications we received today. Okay, moving on to existing business. This is what we've all been waiting for. The 140 West Main Street in Addison has been completed. We submitted for $112,217.18, and that is what we received. If you remember, we were originally approved for $150,000. in discussions being that we were capped at 8% for admin costs, and the work that Jake did and Krieghoff did was considered admin. So we had voted to pay that out of our budget, take that from the grant. So that reduced our actual costs minus Krieghoff's expenses down to $117, or excuse me, $117,904.80. So we received the 112,000. So we were short on our admin budget by about $5,600. It was to be expected. This project did require us to do a lot of admin work and contract a lot of admin work that we just weren't reimbursed for. But we do have the pictures here of the before, during, and after. And we're just happy to say that this part is done, the grant is done. The next step for us in this is an appraisal. So I would like a motion from this board for us to start soliciting realtors to acquire an appraisal for this property. We must sell this at a fair market value or give a really good reason why we can't. The state land bank must approve any sale or any application that we receive. So we can't just decide that we're selling it to this person without getting the state land bank's approval.
I would make that motion.
Support.
Okay, any further discussion?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You said to approach a realtor for the appraisal. So are we looking to approach a broker and get a broker's opinion, or
Could
are we
do-
looking to get an appraisal? Because those are different things.
Right, I think our best bet would be an appraisal so that we are in line with what the state land bank is requiring us to do. And if we want to set a dollar amount, I'm not sure how much these cost. Or would you like us to solicit bids from realtors and bring it back to the board for discussion on the cost aspect of it?
Bids from an appraiser, though, not a
Oh,
realtor.
appraiser.
And just to be clear,
Yep.
right? Do we have someone we typically use? Like, I don't feel a need to go get bids to get an appraisal. If there's someone that we do use, just hire them to do the appraisal for this kind of property. But is there any?
We used to use Jim Palmer and his
Right.
expertise, but since he's not been on the board, I don't think we've required the services of anyone.
Who would we use, Roger, possibly?
I don't know, it's commercial property, right? So
Yeah.
commercial appraisals tend to be more. It's bare land. We use like Gerald Alcock up in Ann Arbor and stuff, but we would pay probably too much money for
Yeah.
that. I don't know if maybe like somebody like Jeff Lewin, because it's under 250,000, I'm sure, so it would be within his certification. I don't know who else does commercial like that locally under that threshold.
I think it wouldn't hurt for us to maybe just bid out. So we have at least maybe 3 options, and we can bring back the pricing when we get that, and the board can decide at that time.
Sure.
Okay, can I have a motion for us to proceed with at least bidding out?
Yes, I'll change the motion to have 3 appraisals, 3 bids.
It's still supported?
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and moving on to B, the application status. As we discussed during the financials, the 2000 block of West US 223, that empty lot with the trees that was very overgrown, was in fact purchased by that neighboring property. So they were very happy with acquiring that, and we were very happy selling it. Okay, moving on to Community Development Coordinator comments. Lisa?
So I have been notified by I think it's our Parks Division, that the DuraSign sites, the signs on the DuraSite were deteriorated, so we replaced both of those. We have had some interest in that property, so working with them on that. And then there is a land bank conference on October 8th, and I will be attending that to learn more about land bank and those processes. And then I also will start working on several of our landlocked parcels within the county that we just can't seem to download. So I'll be contacting those neighbors to those adjoining properties to see about offloading those properties. Also working with DRP, Detroit Regional Partnership, VIP program on the Dura site. They just released a new toolkit. So trying to figure out how we can market that property going ahead. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions of Lisa? Okay, any public comment? Okay, yes, Kim.
I just want to thank the land bank for the demolition and the Addison property. That property has been a blight to that community for decades now. And so I can only imagine that when that was coming down, you almost had cheerleaders on the side trying to like, finally it's happened. So congratulations. I know that it was a lot of work, but thank you for your due diligence and your fortitude of continuing and getting that down. So I think that community is going to be very happy. So hopefully we can get a good appraisal and get something new in there for them too.
Yes, yes. Hey, any other public comment? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.